and then make their commitments. First up is His Excellency the Ambassador Brian David Hunt, Ambassador of the United States to the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much. His Excellency the Vice President of Sierra Leone, the Chairman of the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, Renewable Energy and Food Security, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers of Government, Honorable Members of Parliament, Mayors, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, and members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, international and private sector partners, members of civil society, and other distinguished guests, good morning, or I guess good afternoon. It is a privilege to stand before you today to highlight the ongoing multifaceted partnership between the United States and Sierra Leone that is building a modern, reliable energy sector. As many of you know, in September we celebrated a significant milestone with the signing of a $480 million compact under the Millennium Challenge Corporation, which combined with a $14.2 million contribution from the government of Sierra Leone will refurbish, expand, and reform Sierra Leone's power transmission and distribution infrastructure. It encompasses investments in capital projects such as the essential modernization and expansion of the outdated and insufficient distribution and transmission networks, construction of the Southern Transmission Corridor that will open up the country's east and south to power grid connectivity, and operationalization of dispatch and control centers, as well as the enhancement of institutional capacities and support for policy reforms to ensure sustainability and the long-term viability of the network to meet the demands of both urban and rural communities. Beyond the MCC Compact, I am particularly excited by the support that the United States has been able to provide for the ongoing construction of the Western Area Power Generation Project, renamed the Nant Energy Project, which is supported by $412 million in financing and political risk insurance from the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation. This gas-to-power plant, the groundbreaking of which I was honored to attend with His Excellency the President and Her Excellency the First Lady earlier this year, is set to nearly double Sierra Leone's power generation capacity upon completion of its 36-month construction timeline. While our MCC and DFC capital improvement projects encompass longer-term civil engineering works, the United States is acutely aware of the need for more immediate action. For this reason, we have agreed to provide targeted assistance through USAID's Power Africa initiative and its Empower West Africa program, with the aim of providing short-term relief from the high cost and unreliability of current power solutions. To that end, the Empower West Africa program is assisting the government with the procurement of a new, cost-effective private sector emergency power generation solution for the country through an open and competitive process, one that will move us away from dependence on the car power ship. To address off-grid needs, the United States will bring solar power and digital connectivity to an additional 100 health facilities, improving access to reliable electricity for critical health services in particularly remote areas. By leveraging private sector expertise and innovation, we can accelerate progress towards a reliable energy supply. However, this approach must be complemented by a strong commitment from all Sierra Leonean stakeholders to reform the energy sector. It is essential that we work together to foster an environment where cost recovery for supplied electricity is not just an aspiration, but a reality. The ultimate success of our partnership hinges on the implementation of a strong regulatory framework which increases accountability and efficiency. Similarly, its ultimate development impact hinges on the continued adoption and implementation of business-friendly economic reforms, control of corruption, sustained investment in human capital, and forward progress on strengthening democratic institutions and reforming the nation's electoral system. Continued emphasis in these areas, including full implementation of the Agreement for National Unity and the recommendations contained in the Tripartite Committee's final report, will not only sustain the nation's eligibility for MCC assistance over that project's lifespan, but also create the baseline conditions necessary for foreign and domestic investors to have the political and economic confidence to make maximum use of the expanded energy grid to grow their operations in Sierra Leone. We envision a future where all Sierra Leoneans have access to affordable, reliable electricity, driving economic growth and improving quality of life. Together, through these significant investments and necessary reforms, we can pave the way for a more prosperous, democratic, and healthy future for all Sierra Leoneans. Thank you very much.
We will now call on Her Excellency Josephine Gong, the British High Commissioner to the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to come and talk today on this very important issue. I think, as you will all be very much aware, Sierra Leone suffers from particular vulnerabilities when facing the climate change we are all experiencing globally. From changes to the ocean temperatures, changing in seasonal rainfall, all of this can have an impact on the important food security agenda. But with innovation in the renewable sectors that are developing on a daily basis, and with Sierra Leone's special climate, I think you're very well placed to be able to capitalize on the opportunities in the energy transition. The UK recognizes the central importance of energy in a modern economy, as well as in the daily lives of every household, from charging your phone, being able to study, to being able to cook safely. And the UK has been heavily involved in the energy sector here in Sierra Leone for a number of years now, and we intend to continue to focus on it in the years ahead. We've spent £29 million on helping to upgrade the transmission line and the substations linking Bowen Kenyama to the Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea regional interconnector. We hope this is all going to come online before the end of the year to enable the citizens of Bowen Kenyama to benefit from reliable and competitively priced power. We've also contributed £38 million to developing the mini-grids market, and we're delighted that other partners are now also supporting this approach. And one of the other aspects we've been working on, which has already been mentioned, is £20 million in installing solar systems in Sierra Leone's largest hospitals. 7 of these are now up and running, and a further 11 are due to come into operation in the next few months. Linked to this has been providing solar power to 25 community health centres. And I think we heard earlier from Sustainable Energy for All that the feedback has been very positive from both patients and doctors alike. We know it's important to get the delivery right, and a really effective EDSA is going to be is key to that. So we're working with EDSA on a range of issues, for example, on checking the power usage and payments from the large consumers. And we're also working with EDSA on streamlining the collection of those payments into a single collection account. A better and more reliable energy supply also needs to be sustainable. I think, so benefiting from the innovation, technology, finding the right mix of public and private involvement, creating the regulatory framework which will attract the investment into the sector and ensure the level of service that Sierra Leoneans need, setting affordable prices which will allow for sustainability and investment in the sector. All of these are going to be important in the years ahead as the sector develops. The UK is looking forward to continuing this dialogue on how we can best play a role in accompanying Sierra Leone on this journey. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Excellency. Next is Ambassador Jen Kraus-Mass, Ambassador of the Republic of Germany to Sierra Leone.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Madam First Lady, please allow me to stand on existing protocol. May I first of all congratulate the head of the Presidential Initiative for organizing this, and the government of Sierra Leone, this timely event, just 1 week before we meet at the COP29 in Baku, and addressing all these climate-related issues. I think that energy, climate change, and sustainable agriculture are tremendously linked, and this is something which also was clearly mentioned at the Sierra Leonean German intergovernmental consultations last Thursday, where energy played a decisive role, and we all agreed on the fact that energy is the enabler of development. And we will build on the achievements of energizing development, a joint program developed with the Netherlands, the Norwegian and the Swiss government for over 20 years to build a more specific Sierra Leonean program which will support our two major development cooperation pillars, which are health on one side and sustainable economy development on the other side. And in this regard, Germany, because one of the theme today is from commitment to action, we actually are convinced that Africans are able to promote sustainable energy much better as they, and we are committed to support our African partners in this regard. We want to have a positive climate answer to the challenges of today. African countries, and Sierra Leone in particular, has the potential to leapfrog outdated technologies and deploy directly into renewables. We all know how important is the potential for solar and hydropower in Sierra Leone. And it's Germany who is one of the investors in the first grid-connected solar power factory close to Bo in Mahoma, and we are looking forward, the investors, to set up the second phase. And I think this underlines once again that private initiatives, private capital is key, and therefore we need an enabling environment. And because it's, as I said, commitment to action, I'm happy to announce that my government is about to deploy an expert into the presidential initiative to work on climate financing, to get private capital into the country to further develop this important energy sector. And it's also so that the partnership for the Accelerated Partnership for Renewable Energy, APRA, is at the heart, at the core of our investments. Together with the Danish government, we will continue to support, and I'm sure that during COP29 there will be events which show again our support. And I can congratulate, APRA is very successful, Sierra Leone is at its top, and as the investment conference in Nairobi it's 2 weeks ago, just mentioned, we have the interest of private financing to come here. And I'm very happy to see that C4O, that other initiatives are already committing their money. And I can only continue saying that Germany stays committed in supporting the development of renewable energies in Sierra Leone, and that we are prepared to do so, and we are happy to be with you, because we think without energy there will be no development. We have to work together, hand in hand. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. Madam First Lady, Vice President John, ministers, members of Parliament, private sector, civil society actors, allow me to work on existing protocol. We're a relatively new player in this sector, in the energy sector. Ireland, traditionally, we haven't been very active in this sector. But I think we've been greatly encouraged by the President's vision, the huge energy that is there now, that the government are putting behind delivering energy solutions right across the country. I didn't make the conference last year, but it's just fantastic to hear today the amount that has been achieved over the past year. Our contribution in this sector, it's relatively modest. When I hear of our American colleagues, when I hear of EFAD, the International Energy Agency, so many people bring so much, and everybody is needed, I think, in making the transition that is so badly needed here. In the Irish Embassy, we sat with some of our partners last year. We sat with the private sector, and we sat with civil society organisations. And we focused on a particular sector. We focused on the people that would probably be left off the grid for the foreseeable future. I think in the government's plans, there's hope that we have energy access for all by 2035. But I think one of the more challenging parts of that is rural energy and getting energy to rural households. Expanding the grid and working with microgrids, that's a good way to go. But we started looking at delivering household energy systems. We've done a number of pilots, we've blanket covered a number of communities, and we've used what we call energy access services, a model whereby we look to the community, we look to households to pay a small amount of money per month for providing a good energy system. So far we've lit up 5 communities. And in the immediate future now, we're looking at lighting up an entire district. So in 2025, we want to go north. We're working with our colleagues in Cambia, and we want to bring an energy solution, a household energy system to every household in Cambia by the end of 2025. So I'm looking forward to be back here next year and to say we have delivered on that. And when we look at the costs associated with that, we're looking at a total cost of about $4 to $5 million. I can't think of a better investment. When we hear about the big money that's coming into this area, for about 50 million, we think we can use our model to light up all of Sierra Leone. So I'd hope to come back next year and report that we have lit up Cambia, but then I'd also like to come back and report that we also have the plan, we're well on the way to lighting up all of Sierra Leone. And ideally, I think we should be doing that by 2030. It's a tier 1 energy solution. It'll give you basic lighting. It'll allow you to charge your phones. It will deliver a radio as well. It's modest enough, but I think it's time that people stop living in darkness. It is time to light up this country, and my country is committed to be part of that process. Our investment is modest, as I said from the outset. It's about 1.5 million euros, about 37.5 million leons. We have Iceland, we have another of other philanthropic organisations with us as well. But getting a few more on board, we're looking forward to making serious progress over 2025. And in the spirit of this conference, yes, I'd hope to be back here next year to report on real action and real deliverables. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Vice Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julejano, Madam First Lady, Honorable Members of Parliament present, Honorable Ministers present, colleagues, development partners, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to join Kande Yukela and the team. Congratulations for the second dialogue on climate resilience and the energy transition. You've done a fantastic job. You deserve a big round of applause. First of all, in terms of takeaways, since I joined this morning, Honorable Kande Yukela, for me, I think I see one, we are beginning to have a real conversation in terms of convening the power. And again, thanks to you, because it's convening the power, convening the resources, and the dialogue across different stakeholders that we are going to move in one direction. The second point really is we need to remain accountable, and I think a platform like this one will hold all of us accountable, which in turn means that whatever we say here, we have to be measurable, we have to be held to measure. So your responsibility really help us remain accountable, and in turn, can you create a framework where we measure whatever we say from here? That's commitment to action. You said it. I would like just to pick up on a few things that I would like to share. Innovations which I think are happening across the country, across a wide range of areas. If you go to Kailawun, there is a young man who uses cocoa kernels to generate power, and is creating jobs for more than 50 women in the village, from the process of making bar soap to cooking oil, but he's transforming and he's using the kernels out of cocoa to really generate power. Then you move across to Lion Mountain in Makeni, who, out of resilience and ingenuity, we are able to prefabricate a boiler that uses rice husks to generate power in order to parboil rice. That's all part of your story of resilience. Then you move to a lady in Kareni called Haja, working with poor women farmers on doing smart agriculture by multiplying the seedlings from cassava across many farmers, of course with the support of paramount chiefs who have given land. Then we have innovations of people who are using sewer waste to make briquettes as a way of providing alternatives for cooking. And we have a young group of entrepreneurs who are making solar stoves. Not forgetting Usman from Kono, who is doing smart irrigation as we speak. I can go on and on and on. But the reason I mention this discussion, again, one recommendation for you, Kande and the team, is that this conversation should go beyond the national level. I want to see this conversation start from the grassroots. Let's build a database of these examples of change makers, which are quite many. There are quite many. And I think for me, we can bring them together in another forum. They share their stories, but the view should be to replicate. These people need support. These innovators need support, and they need a platform. And I think that will be a huge opportunity for us to move forward with that. The other key point I wanted to share along the lines of really getting the innovators to have a voice is that the World Bank, we are playing a convening role, and there are many opportunities. I don't want to go through that whole range of different interventions. We are working closely with the Ministry of Energy and the Ministry of Finance, but I just wanted to highlight one specific intervention that our leadership has come up with to electrify 300 million people across Africa by 2030. Sierra Leone will be part of the M300 Compact, and the only way we'll get there is by putting pen to action, commitment to action. the reforms being supported through the budget support across policy, institutional and regulatory reforms across the wide range of the sector are a testament that we will get there. The investments we are doing across the different opportunities of solar harnessing, the efforts to electrify schools and hospitals are all in the same spirit, not forgetting efforts on clean cooking. So I would just like to stop here and say thank you very much, Kande Yunkela and your team. I think I will pick up on the concluding remarks made by Power Africa that we will leverage our entire toolkit. I mean not World Bank, but I think all the stakeholders who are presented, leveraging our entire toolkit will go a long way towards contributing to Sierra Leone's sustainable energy solutions. Thank you so much, and I'll be back in the afternoon. Please, let's get the voices of the innovators heard, and let us take this dialogue to the grassroots. Thank you so much.
Excellency, Mr. Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency, Madam First Lady, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, all protocol reserved. It's a honor and a pleasure for me to be here at this very important climate resilience and energy transition dialogue on the behalf of the Director General of the International Renewable Energy Agency, Mr. Francesco Lacabara, who really conveys his gratitude for extending the invitation to IRENA and also sends his best wishes for successful deliberation. So before speaking about APRA, let me say just a few words about IRENA. So IRENA is a global lead agency for the energy transformation that serves as platform for international cooperation. It supports countries in their energy transition and provides reliable data and analysis on technology, innovation, policy, and finance and investment. IRENA has 170 members so far, and it's really support the countries by helping them to achieve their priorities. So coming back to APRA, the Accelerated Partnership for Renewable Energy in Africa, it was launched at the COP28 in Dubai, building on the outcomes of the Nairobi Declaration, which calls for action, as well as the outcome of the global stocktake, which is also key outcomes for the last COP in Dubai. So the aim of APRA is to help countries with ambitious and clear targets for renewables to improve their energy access, to boost the green industrialization, and also to improve the overall resilience of their societies. How will APRA support the countries to achieve those goals? First of all, by mobilizing finance. The second pillar is to support to boost the engagement of the private sector, and the third one is to develop the skills, both the individual and the societal. So it's really that will happen through capacity building and technical assistance. So far we have 7 countries in Africa, as well as partners that are supporting us. So the partners include Denmark, Germany, UAE, United Arab Emirates, and the US. We also have philanthropies and other technical institutions that are supporting us, such as GIAP, who was with us in the morning, Rockefeller Brothers Funds, and so on. So the Secretariat is hosted by IRENA. I'm just insisting on that. IRENA is hosting APRA Secretariat, please. So in the frame of the implementation of APRA, we have supported the countries to develop national action plans based on their priorities. And in the case of Sierra Leone, basically the action plan for Sierra Leone focus more on, it emphasizes on the goal of universal electrification, energy diversification, regional electricity export, and economic growth. And in terms of the priority actions, they include the mini-grid development, renewable energy integration in sectors such as agriculture and fisheries, infrastructure optimization, policy and regulatory improvement, and capacity building. As my predecessors have already highlighted, we have hosted in October the first APRA investment forum in Nairobi. So we hosted it with the government of Kenya, and that serves as a key platform for high-level stakeholder engagement, featuring project matchmaking sessions that aim to enhance financing avenue and access to essential technical expertise. So at that forum, 4 projects from Sierra Leone were highly profiled, and these include also 2 high-impact renewable energy projects, the Bombuna project and the Dodogoma project. We know that those projects, they have high impact and they seek for funding, but they gather interest from few partners, such as the OPEC fund, the Impact Aid, and that engagement was facilitated through the Arena Energy Transition Accelerator Financing Platform, ETAF, as well as our climate investment platform, CIP, which connects climate-aligned initiatives with technical and financial support. So for ETAF, we have a commitment of 1.25 million to support 1.5 gigawatt of renewable energy project worldwide. So, although both projects have, they show strong investment potential, they require further preparation to reach the full investment readiness. In that regard, as APRA Secretariat, together with our host institution, of course, so we will support the implementation of the National Action Plan, APRA Action Plan of Sierra Leone, through the effort of the partnership itself, as well as by bringing in more partners who can support specific activities, and also by using Arena's own technical expertise, because we know that it has a thematic focus, which is really the promotion of renewable energy. I think the colleagues from the Danish Energy Agency will build a bit on that today or tomorrow during the thematic discussions. Furthermore, Arena is ready to support the preparation of the 2 projects, the Bombuna and the Dodoma project, by providing the technical expertise and facilitating the right partnership to lower the risk profile of those projects. And also, we will try to explore the non-recourse funding options, as well as any additional funding avenue that may be required. So basically, I would like to conclude by highlighting the fact that APRA is a transformative partnership that has the potential not only to reshape the renewable energy landscape in Africa, but also to serve as a blueprint for global cooperation and development. It's a kind of a testament that what can be achieved when nations and organizations, they unite under a common goal, which is the fast-tracked deployment of renewable energy to drive sustainable development. So together, we'll make things happen. Thank you for your attention.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Madam First Lady, Honorable Ministers, dear ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, please let me stand on existing protocol. It is my honor and privilege to stand here today representing the Danish Energy Agency and on behalf of the Denmark participation in the Accelerated Partnership for Renewables in Africa, APRA, to announce the upcoming launch of technical assistance support activity towards the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority of Sierra Leone, EDSA. With this activity, we hope to contribute to the transformative pathway Sierra Leone has embarked on, and in a very tangible way by training and empowering its people, both the colleagues in the offices, and technicians doing maintenance out in the field help alleviate the critical energy supply situation in Sierra Leone. I would also like to highlight that a letter of intent was signed between our two nations during the visit to Denmark in March 2024 of the Chief Minister of Sierra Leone, Mr. David Senye. The letter of intent included cooperation of a €2 million program for early childhood education through UNICEF and the €3 million grant for green energy projects facilitated through the European Union. I'm happy to report that currently these two programs are under formulation. Finally, I would like to thank His Excellency the President for the opportunity to be here and recall the successful meeting with the Danish Minister for Development, Cooperation and Global Climate Policy, Mr. Dan Jorgensen, to Sierra Leone last year. This visit laid the foundation for the very close cooperation and dialogue within the energy sector between Denmark and Sierra Leone. And we, at the Danish Energy Agency, very much look forward to the cooperation towards initiating concrete action under the auspice of ACRA. I would like to wish Sierra Leone and its wonderful welcoming people well-being, prosperity, and not least full-fledged access to abundant, affordable and sustainable energy. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, His Excellency, Deputy President of Sierra Leone, and Her Excellency, Madam First Lady, ladies and gentlemen, our Chairman, thank you very much. I am Engineer Lebole Shabane. I am from South Africa. We're very pleased to be here. I'm the CEO of IX Engineers, and as a company, we're excited about the opportunities of Sierra Leone, and we pledge our African experience, our expertise in the development of sustainable and futuristic infrastructure solutions to support the Sierra Leone government in the development of integrated and connected sustainable energy and water infrastructure solutions. And we're pledging three things. Firstly is the National Integrated Master Plans to develop a sustainable energy mix, transmission and distribution infrastructure. And secondly is the sustainable water mix through a master plan that takes into consideration the diversified sources of water and wastewater treatment solutions for sustainable water infrastructure and supply. Thirdly is project packaging to unlock projects, to enable investments. We find that there's a lot of projects, and the biggest problem that the project developers have is that they're not well packaged, therefore they're not able to attract the right investment. So we provide those solutions to the government. And lastly is blended finance solutions through aggregating international grants funding and investments to unlock projects and improve on the viability. Our objective really as a company is to stimulate the economic development and job creation for the people of Sierra Leone. I thank you.
Your Excellency, Vice President, and Your Excellency, Madam First Lady, and to honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with great pleasure that I join you in this warm and welcoming country. I feel deeply privileged and very honoured to be with you here today. At the International Energy Agency Summit in Paris, His Excellency, the President, outlined the commendable strides Sierra Leone is taking to catalyse the transition to modern energy cooking solutions and to mainstream clean cooking into the energy planning processes. To complement these existing activities, and working in collaboration with the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, Renewable Energy and Food Security, the Global Electric Cooking Coalition, GECCO, has developed a $5 million e-cooking scale and support initiative for Sierra Leone. We're pleased to receive the interest of the Middle East Green Initiative's Forward 7 of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to enhance this collaboration. And this e-cooking scale and support initiative will catalyse the transition to sustainable, safe, affordable cooking through electric cooking, enabling a cleaner cooking future for millions of people. We look forward to the work that we are committed to undertaking together, and to the positive changes that will be the fruits of this collaboration. Thank you.
Just to be a bit more specific on how we intend to support the energy transition in Sierra Leone, we will do that in two ways. The first one, as I mentioned, is in support of project development. We will work with private sector partners and commit risk capital and also our own internal resources, people, to drive the projects. So typically for a given project, we can invest between $1 and $8 million in the early stage phase of developing the projects. And importantly, our intention is to be very actively involved, to act as a bridge, a facilitator between the public sector, the government, who are our stakeholders, and the private sector with whom we work all the time, and in that way, fast-track the implementation of projects. The second way, which we intend to support the sector, is by financing construction, particularly equity. Typically, we can invest between $15 and $60 million in equity for each given project. I would just like to finish by emphasizing that these interventions are highly catalytic. Every dollar that is spent on early stage project development will typically unlock about $20 in capital to fund construction once the projects reach that stage. Thank you very much.
Dr. Julius Maada Bio, President of Sierra Leone, distinguished guests, the government and the people of Sierra Leone, and to all those who have dedicated time today for this important dialogue. I'm Cullen Hughes, Acting Coordinator for Power Africa, a U.S. government-sponsored international public-private partnership to double access to electricity in sub-Saharan Africa. I'm joining you today virtually at this second Climate Resilience and Energy Transition Dialogue to emphasize our commitment to supporting Sierra Leone as it works to overcome its energy challenges and build a more prosperous future. Over the past 6 months, Power Africa has deepened our relationship with the government of Sierra Leone through numerous strategic engagements. We understand the critical importance of addressing the country's current energy crisis. Thus, we are ready to step up our support both in the short and long term. If you haven't already engaged with our advisors through our new program named Empowering West Africa, I'd like to share 3 areas of support we will provide through the Empower program in the coming year. First, we are deploying a skilled transaction advisory team. This team will work to assist the government of Sierra Leone with procuring an emergency power solution with the intention of helping phase out Sierra Leone's reliance on car power shipping. Our goal is to help Sierra Leone transition to a more sustainable and eco-friendly solution. We'll also explore increasing electricity imports through the regional Côte d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea interconnection line. Second, we will work closely with EDSA, Sierra Leone State Utility, on its electricity transformation plan. Our interventions will focus on helping EDSA to improve revenue collection, reduce technical losses, and bolster the financial health of the utility. Third, we are committed to providing dedicated resources to support the day-to-day operations of the Electricity Sector Steering Committee. This committee acts as a central coordination hub for Sierra Leone's energy sector. By managing logistics and strategy implementation, we aim to streamline efforts among donors and partners, ensuring that every intervention maximizes its impact. Power Africa is an initiative that brings together the collective resources of various U.S. agencies, including the U.S. Development Finance Corporation, the Millennium Challenge Corporation, the U.S. Trade and Development Agency, the U.S. Agency for International Development, as well as over 200 private sector companies. We will leverage our entire toolkit to partner with the government of Sierra Leone as it works to overcome the current energy crisis and lay the foundation for a brighter and more sustainable energy sector. Together, we can power Sierra Leone's future. Thank you.
MCC is pleased to be launching the Sierra Leone Power Compact. The Compact's $480 million MCC funding and $14.2 million government contribution will make Sierra Leone's electricity grid climate resilient by building out grid infrastructure to withstand the future demands of a changing climate. The Compact also makes Sierra Leone more renewable ready by equipping the grid with dispatch and control capabilities necessary to dramatically scale up intake of renewable energy. We are committed to this partnership, and as the Compact is being mobilized, we encourage our partners to tackle the tough challenges together. The only thing worse than a carbon-based kilowatt emission is one that serves no purpose, generates no economic growth, and worse, sets the country back financially. Losses are crushing the sector and spilling useless emissions into our atmosphere. Be bold, take action, leverage the steering committee to work together to bring these losses down, and know that we are right there with you. Thank you, and I hope your dialogue is productive. All the best.